in our society. I promise to leverage my knowledge of history, theology, and both international and domestic issues to imagine an inclusive vision for the future, which I hope will inspire all of us to pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness as a given, not just an aspiration. So join me weekdays at 12 noon right after Tavis Smiley for 2 hours of the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show, only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey Zoe, I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
Who is your little friend?
This is Ben. He's an old Joe that lived around here for a long time. And I do mean a long damn time. Old Ben here took care of my daddy and my daddy's daddy till he up and killed over one day. Old Ben took care of me. Growing up the son of a huge plantation owner in Mississippi puts a white man in contact with a whole lot of black faces. I spent my whole life here, right here in Candyland, surrounded by black faces. I seen them every day, day in, day out. I only had one question. Why don't they kill us? Now, right out there on that porch, 3 times a week for 50 years, old Ben here would shave my daddy with a straight razor. Now, if I was old Ben, I would have cut my daddy's throat, and it wouldn't have taken me no 50 years to do it neither. But he never did. Why not? You see, the science of phrenology is crucial to understanding the separation of our two species. In the skull of the African here, the area associated with submissiveness is larger than any human or any other subhuman species on planet Earth. If you examine this piece of skull here, you'll notice 3 distinct dimples. Here, here, and here. Now, if I was holding the skull of an Isaac Newton or Galileo, these 3 dimples would be found in the area of the skull most associated with creativity. But this is the skull of old Ben. And in the skull of old Ben, unburdened by genius, these 3 dimples exist in the area of the skull most associated with civility. Now, bright boy, I will admit you are pretty clever. But if I took this hammer here and I bashed in your skull with it, you would have the same 3 dimples in the same place as old Ben.
What in the Django is going? It's Monday, and the voice of reason is in the house with another controversial take. Another controversial take on relationships. You know I have to stretch your imagination. And that is the purpose of tonight's topic. I don't know if you're ready. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. I don't know if you're ready for this work, but it's about to go down. The anatomy of the Sambo relationship. This intriguing exploration delves into the yes-a-boss relationship, where people-pleasing, fawning, and conforming individuals struggle with internal wounds and societal expectations, ultimately fostering superficial intimacy and connection. Yes, boss. I'm wounded, and I'd hate to lose you. So whoever your boss is, man or woman, if you're placating to keep him, if you're pretending to keep him, you are a Sambo in the context of relating. What was Sambo? Who was Sambo? Y'all know Sambo. Don't y'all know the Sambo story? Uncle Tom and Sambo. Oftentimes you guys will see me wearing an Uncle Tom hoodie. And I just love it. I love the conversations that it sparks. As a matter of fact, Dr. Nee Cortez saw me in it one day and was like, hey, what in the backwood country sticks is going on here? And I had to tell the story. Many of us don't know the story. Uncle Tom was the hero. Right? We gave Sambo's definition to Uncle Tom. Uncle Tom protected women. Uncle Tom fought the oppressor. Many of us don't understand the history because it's been obfuscated. Uncle Tom has been turned into a racial slur, a racial epithet, right? Yeah, but that's typically what they do. Right? The psychological war never really ends. But a Sambo was bootlicking, complacent, apologetic, right? Performative towards massa. Think Stephen. Well, Stephen was a little rambunctious. He had a little bit more leeway. That was a rambunctious Sambo. But Sambo was the villain. Imagine if you put that in intimate relationship, right? The context of intimate relationships. Right? Sambo, or Stephen, was taken care of, well taken care of, had privileges no slaves had, right? So he was invested in his position, right? And he would do or say anything to protect Calvin. Huh? Beloved brothers and sisters, I stand before you today, not as a radio personality, but as a witness to a sickness in our homes, in our beds, in our very souls. I come to speak about the anatomy of the Sambo relationship, that yes-a-boss intimacy, that counterfeit covenant where the self bows low, not before God, but before the false idols of survival, of approval, of acknowledgement and fear. Can I get an ashe? Ashe don't work. I'm sorry. Can I get an amen? See, some of us are living in a relationship that look like freedom, but feel like slavery. Oh, if you can't be your true self. Oh, doesn't that remind you of when mama and them shut down your emotions, shut down your expression? Huh? You in the relationship to be taken care of in some capacity, but the real you, your real story, your real truth has been pushed down. Because if it comes out, oh, the relationship is in danger. The real you puts your relationship in danger. We wear the mask of sweetness, of deference, of endless yes, 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 boss, while our souls are screaming no, no, no. We call it loyalty, but in actuality, it's psychological bondage. We call it devotion, but it's really desperation. We call it intimacy, but it's nothing more than the plantation of the psyche of the unhealed. Who are you, my brother, my sister, when every yes is a goddamned lie? Who profits when you silence your truth? Who benefits from your bowed back and broken tongue? You know you're in a relationship where you can't speak your truth. If your partner really knew how you felt. Oh, Lord, 1-800-920-1580. The Sambo self is not love. It's not humility. It's fear masquerading as fidelity. It is the nervous system's last-ditch bargain with abandonment. If I please you, maybe you won't leave me. If I sacrifice my truth, maybe I'll be safe. But, beloved, safety purchased with self-betrayal is not safety. It is psychological, psycho-spiritual captivity. Babette Rothschild, you hear me mention her often. She said the body remembers what the mind forgets. And your body knows when you are lying. Your body knows when you are bribing instead of loving. Your body knows when you are kneeling not to God, but to the observer of fear. Ross Rosenberg called it self-love deficient disorder. Krishnamurti told us it was no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. And Dr. David R. Hawkins showed us that fawning calibrates not at love, but at shame, at fear, at the basement level of human spirit. So let me tell you plain, the Sambo relationship is not a love story. It is a contract of invisible servitude. It is capitalism in the bedroom. It is intimate chattel. Huh? Sheesh. One partner sits on the throne. The other bows at the foot. And both are damned because neither is free. And here's the counterintuitive truth, church. People-pleasing is not kindness. It's actually control. Huh? I'm bartering my best qualities in order to secure my safety. The narcissist says, I will dominate you to protect me. The fawner says, I will erase me to protect you. But both are manipulations. Both are masks. Both crucify authenticity on the cross of fear. Now the question is, what shall we do? Shall we keep dancing on this psychic plantation, singing spirituals of yes, boss, while our souls rot in silence? Or shall we, like the prophet Moses before Pharaoh, rise up and say, let my soul go? Not just to the world outside, but to the overseer inside. To heal, brothers and sisters, is to risk rupture. To say no with integrity, even when it shatters the false peace of appeasement. To betray the Sambo self so that the true self may live. To stand naked before your partner and declare, I will not be your servant. I will not serve your unhealed wounds. I will not be your psycho Sambo. I love me. Or, if you love me, you must love me unmasked, unchained, unveiled. Are y'all ready for tonight's topic? Are you in a yes-a boss relationship? Is it Sambo love at the crib? The phone lines are open, 1-800-920-1580. Get at me, let's go!
Relationships. Got you confused? Need some straight talk? This is where you get the unfiltered truth about love, relationships, and everything in between. He breaks down relationship dynamics with no-nonsense wisdom and practical advice that actually works. Tackling the questions you're afraid to ask and giving you the answers you need to hear. You're inside the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you ready to be a part of the conversation that will help shape our nation's future? Get ready to join us for the Left Coast Forum, Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech, where progressive voices will come together to tackle the issues that matter most to working families across Los Angeles and beyond. From economic justice to climate action, from healthcare to housing, we're bringing together the brightest minds and most passionate advocates for real solutions and real change, with workshops workshops, 2 major keynote addresses, and a closing reception with great music and good food. It's the Left Coast Forum, where your voice matters and your ideas take action. Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech. Brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 and the LA Progressive. The future won't wait, and neither should you. Mark your calendar now to be there and be heard. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 is committed to self-care and community well-being. Walk Good LA was formed in June 2020, inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement and the beginning stages of the COVID-19 pandemic. What began as a few minutes of breath work and yoga meditation before protests against police brutality turned into a safe space for the community to heal in hard times. The immensely positive response from the community transformed the momentum into a movement. Today, Walk Good LA is a Black and brown-led community wellness organization based in Los Angeles. They provide spaces for healing through community yoga classes, guided meditations, hikes, run clubs, and other activations throughout Los Angeles that attract hundreds of members weekly. With the help of Propel and Michael B. Jordan, they now have a yoga and wellness studio in Los Angeles called the Walk Good Yard. To join their mailing list and connect with healing spaces, please visit walkgoodla.org. That's walkgoodla.org. Or find them on Instagram at walkgoodla. This is a community call to action, a community call to healing from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
This whole meritorious manumission policy is in effect, moving along at the same time, this control system. About 1852, a lady named Harriet Beach Stover wanted to write about it. So she then wrote about the whole thing. She interviewed a guy whose name was Henderson, which you all know as Uncle Tom. He then told about the story. She wrote a book called Uncle Tom's Cabin. But in that book, contrary to what most people think, Uncle Tom was not the bad guy. The bad guy was Sambo. And so I'm asking you all as my brothers and sisters, please in the future don't call a black guy who you know is worthless and trifling. Don't call him an Uncle Tom. That's complimenting him. Call him his real name, what he's entitled to, and that's a Sambo. Any black person sells his own people out and will do them in, he is a Sambo. Now, what is a Sambo again? Going back to meritorious manumission in 1710, the whole conditioning process, the whole brainwashing system, the whole social engineering system says that you must teach black people to see the world through the eyes of whites. You must see everything through their eyes. You must accept their values, their superiority, whatever they think and feel, and that way we got you contained. And that's why when you see somebody like Colin Powell somebody running for office, they say, well, you can run for office if you see the things the way we want to see them. If you want to be conservative, you can run for office. If you want to place a lot of importance on abortion, you can run for office.
Man, if you don't understand L.A., brother, first off, that's Dr. Claude Anderson. What you want to do? That's Dr. Claude Anderson. Let's stop playing reindeer games. But what does that have to do with Los Angeles, brother? My man was giving that speech at the Faith Dome. Dr. Frederick K.C. Price, legendary. Come on, man. L.A. been in this for the longest. We are part of the game. But he said something very clear about Sambo. Looking through the eyes of the oppressor. For many people who are unhealed, who haven't gotten on the journey of self-individuation, we look through the eyes of unhealed wounds. That is the oppressor, which makes us Sambo when the wound is the boss. Sambo in the story, right? Sambo in the story. Bootlicking, placating, people pleasing for survival. It traumatized him. Do you see the metaphor tonight? Listen to what I'm trying to tell you. In intimate relationships, if you do not become the master of your wounds, they become the master of you. Now, intimacy built on obedience is not intimacy at all. It is theater. It is a fraud. It is plantation politics. Do you understand? Dressed up with Netflix and chill. Dressed up with fine nights out and superficial sexual encounters. That's what it is. The only real love is born in truth. Are you hearing what I'm saying? The only real intimacy begins when both partners dare to stand without a mask on, without hierarchy, without master, without servant. That's what unconditional freedom represents. Are you engaged in Sambo love? We're going to find out when we go to the phones.
The way you touch me is so sweet. How can I deny you're what I've been missing? You know you are. I wanna say that I love you, but you want so much more.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Misty Jordan with BIN News. Now, the mayor of St. Petersburg is ending a battle over street art that includes Black Lives Matter. Mayor Ken Welch said the city relented in order to keep millions in state and federal transportation funding.
As a mayor of our city, I will not risk these essential investments in a fight that I don't believe we can win.
He says the Florida Department of Transportation will paint over the murals by September 4th. The White House is touting over 1,000 arrests since taking over the nation's capital. According to the White House, 111 firearms have been seized, 6 known gang members have been arrested, and no one has been murdered in 12 days. And Southwest Airlines passengers who cannot be accommodated in a single plane seat will be required to purchase a second seat ahead of time. If the extra room is not needed, a refund can be requested after the flight. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Is your concrete cracking? Is your uneven walkway dangerous? Do you need to level that concrete porch or patio? Contact Groundworks, the concrete lifting experts. Riverside, get your free inspection today. Learn more at groundworks.com.
Hi, I'm Jesse Jackson Jr., inviting you to join me weekdays at 12 noon, right after Tavis Smiley, here on KBLA Talk 1580. As a law school graduate and a theologian, with a firm grasp of our body politic given almost 2 decades in Congress, my show is the fresh new home of an authentic, uncompromised quest for transformation and salvation, both personal and collectively, as I vigorously interrogate the theological and symbolic meanings embedded in our society. I promise to leverage my knowledge of history, theology, and both international and domestic issues to imagine an inclusive vision for the future, which I hope will inspire all of us to pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness as a given, not just an aspiration. So join me weekdays at 12 noon right after Tavis Smiley for 2 hours of the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yo, it's Zoe Williams, the VOR, and I know you're tired of pretty gems with pretty lies, where people seem to scroll more than they sweat. Well, it's time to level up. Welcome to Huff and Puff, where excuses die and champions rise. Smack dab at 1221 North La Brea on the corner of Fairview. This ain't a photo shoot, it's a battleground. Certified achievers in the game. Trainers who grind with you, not post pictures beside you. Whether you're chasing your next personal record or just trying to outrun your past, this is your sanctuary of sweat. No mirrors, no filters, no fluff, just pain, passion, and purpose. Stop talking, start training, huff hard, puff loud, be legendary. Where folks go to war with their weaknesses. Huff and Puff.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Imagine a Los Angeles where everyone can thrive, where communities have access to the resources they need to succeed. That's the vision of Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. They're dedicated to improving life in LA County by providing educational support, employment assistance, and spaces for community engagement. By 2050, they want LA to be the best place to connect, create, learn, live, and play. They're working toward an education system that's well-resourced and culturally responsive, becoming a hub for artists and innovators, and making sure everyone has access to healthy food, quality healthcare, and safe housing. It's about building a future where we all have the chance to succeed. We invite you to learn more about their mission and get involved with Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
It's never too early to start talking about money in realistic ways with your kids. JP Morgan Chase navigates how to educate your kids now about creating long-lasting, healthy money habits. Whether your kids are in elementary school, high school, or college, now is a great time to start a conversation about ways to create healthy money habits as they grow, ultimately benefiting their financial future. Talking about money in a realistic way to support your kids' lifestyle and dreams, your first banking account geared towards high school or college. It's never too early. Explaining the basics, what you earn and what you spend, building financial confidence starts with getting organized. Learning and practicing vital money skills now will stay with them for life. Tools they will have to stay on top of their finances and achieve their goals. This segment is sponsored by JP Morgan Chase.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. Every girl deserves a chance to shine. That's the belief behind Forgiving for Living, Inc. Since 1999, this organization has been empowering at-risk girls ages 13 to 18, helping them overcome behavioral and mental health challenges. Founder Wendy Gladney's personal journey inspired the mission to give girls hope and purpose through the power of forgiveness. Through their ambassador program, workshops, and annual conference, Forgiving for Living has touched over 3,000 young lives, providing mentoring, life skills, training, and tools for building self-esteem and confidence. You can make a difference. Visit forgivingforliving.org to donate, volunteer, become a mentor, or find help for a young girl in need. Forgiving for Living, Inc., building brighter futures for young girls. Visit forgivingforliving.org today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Ain't you had enough love?
the one for me. Whoa, for you. And just say the crime is mine. There were only words of love meant for me.
Hi, I am Dr. Kim Sage. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist. I think I'm losing my voice. This is my third video today, but I want to make sure I get them done so I can edit them and get them loaded this week. So if you're new here, this is part of a series called Wildly Loved. And within that series is this mini series called What is My Trauma Type? Where we're going to go through the trauma types of fight, flight, freeze, fawn, collapse and submit, and attach, cry out for help. And if you're just new today, please check out the videos I've already posted this week based on the fight, flight, and freeze responses. Today we're going to talk about fawn, which is such a common one, I think, for many of us. And basically this response, like all of these responses, is really meant to help us deal with our feelings of abandonment and alienation and or neglect, lack of emotional safety, and really our attempt to get our needs met in some way in childhood. And so the fawn type has learned that the way to stay safe and to get our needs met is to take care of everyone else and meet their needs. And so what we really believe is that we have to sacrifice ourselves. Pete Walker says, and that is in this book, which I'm using this week, Complex PTSD from Surviving to Thriving, highly recommend it, is that the price of admission to relationships is to leave ourselves at the door, right? To say, oh, I don't have any needs, what needs do I have? But I'm really good at taking care of your needs. And we usually are pretty good at it. And so we've learned to mind and mood read around others, to rotate around them. And the caretaking has served us well. Because in our childhoods, in many regards, we had parents who kind of exploited that part of ourselves. We're often very, empathic and kind and loving. But the parent said, yeah, why don't you be my best friend and let's discuss all my life's issues or my relationships, or why don't you also raise your siblings, right? Or let's have some enmeshment here where there's no real separation between me and you, and I can talk to you hurtfully and say whatever I want and then turn around and try to be a loving parent and like mind screw you. It's such a complicated dynamic. And Pete says oftentimes in this pattern, if this is your like first or second position, that you may have had a parent very likely who was, I would argue, somewhere on the narcissistic.
So I love that, sister. And I forget her name. Kim Sage is always cooking. And I love when we play her clips because I just love her framing and how she puts that together. Let me come back. Was the slave in perpetual survival mode on the plantation? Could you make the same case for someone who has not healed or got on the journey of healing? Could they be in a perpetual state of survival? And if so, who's massa? The unhealed wound becomes massa. The people-pleasing becomes a wound-pleasing movement, right? Nobody took care of massa better than an abused slave. Some abused slaves went so far as to love massa. You saw it as Stockholm Syndrome. And you experience Stockholm Syndrome when you have a myriad of unhealed wounds. People pleaser, let me show up. Oh, you called it. Kenya Ma'at, number 7, calls it a surrendered spirit. Well, what do clinicians say about the 3 insecure attachment wounds in the John Bowlby, Mary Ainsworth framework? Most insecure attachment styles have conditioned themselves to manipulate their partners so they can get what they didn't get in childhood. Sambo is manipulating massa to protect his hide. And he'll do anything in order to feel safe, in order to extrapolate safety. So I ask you, beloved, what part of you insists on remaining enslaved? What plantation are you still tending in your psyche? Are you brave enough to burn it down? Not with hatred, but with holy fire, with truth, with the courage to live free. For when you do, you will find what the great Yogananda Paramahansa called the song of the soul. Love not rooted in scarcity, not chained to fear, not but overflowing with divinity. That's where you find the God in you. Abuse strips the God out of you. Neglect strips the God out of you. Abandonment strips the God out of you. But only in your mind, not in reality. Do you see? And when that day comes, you'll have that aha moment. You will no longer be an intimate Sambo in your relationships. You will be free to be you. And the world has never feared anything more than a free black soul. A soul that has conquered its wounds. Do you see? Finally free to love without chains. I got questions. Who is the self you betray each time you say yes when your soul is screaming no? Is the Sambo self an identity or a survival strategy masquerading as love? Come on! 1-800-920-1580. Does fawning intimacy reveal compassion? Or does it disguise fear as alienation? Or does it disguise fear of alienation? And when we talk about alienation, we're talking about the ego. If authenticity threatens survival, what part of you must die to live honestly? Can a relationship sustained by appeasement ever transcend the economics of psychological slavery? Does fawning resemble love, or is it simply the nervous system's last-ditch bargain with abandonment? How much of your loyalty is merely trauma bond disguised as devotion? Does the anxious partner mistake their chain for an umbilical cord? Is the Sambo dynamic an inherited trauma? An ancestral memory of submission replayed as romance? When we come forward, callers, it's your time to shine.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
During this time, it's important for everyone to know your rights. The 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendments in the U.S. Constitution protects every one of us, regardless of immigration status. The 4th Amendment requires a judicial warrant to search your home. The 5th protects your right to remain silent, and the 6th gives you the right to an attorney. Just remember,
No warrant, no key. 556. You don't have to speak. No lawyer inside. Don't say a thing. Yeah, we all got rights.
Hey, we all got rights.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Founded in Los Angeles in 1986, litigation powerhouse Quinn Emanuel has deep roots in the Los Angeles community. Since 2007, we have litigated some of the largest fires on the West Coast. We are proud to be the only AmLaw 100 firm in the country to represent wildfire victims, giving affected individuals, families, and businesses the same focus and individualized attention we devote to our Fortune 500 clients. BTI Consulting has repeatedly recognized Quinn Emanuel as among the 4 law firms in-house counsel least liked to oppose in any litigation, and we are often deemed the most feared. And after securing over $80 billion for our clients in various matters firm-wide, we understand why. If you have been affected by the recent wildfires in Altadena and the Palisades, Palisades and would like to discuss your situation further, please contact wildfire support at quinemanuel.com or call us at 213-443-3050. Quinn Emanuel is proud to sponsor Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Only you can make me happy. Happy. Only you can make me happy. I never thought that I'd find someone like you. I feel hypnotized with the things you do. I'll never let you go. No, you're so right for me. I have to let you know. Forever you and me. Only you can make me happy. Happy. Only you can make me happy.
To understand this, you have to go back to what young brother here referred to as the house Negro and the field Negro. Back during slavery, there was two kinds of slaves. There was the house Negro and the field Negro. The house Negro, they lived in the house with master. They dressed pretty good. They ate good because they ate his food, what he left. They lived in the attic or the basement, but still they lived near their master. And they loved their master more than the master loved himself. They would give their life to save their master's house quicker than the master would. The house Negro, if the master said, we got a good house here, the house Negro said, yeah, we got a good house here. Whenever the master said we, he said we. That's how you can tell a house Negro. If the master's house caught on fire, the house Negro would fight harder to put the blaze out than the master would. If the master got sick, the house Negro would say, what's the matter, boss? We sick. We sick. He identified himself with his master more than his master identified with himself. And if you came to the house Negro and said, let's run away, let's escape, let's separate, that house Negro would look at you and say, man, you crazy. What you mean separate? Where is there a better house than this? Where can I wear better clothes than this? Where can I eat better food than this? That was that house Negro. In those days, he was called a house nigger. And that's what we call him today, because we still got some house niggers running around here.
Hey, man, the legendary, come on, that's one of my heroes in life. I'm sorry. The Prince of Black Men, right there, Malcolm X. Now, recontextualize what he's saying for someone who is a slave to unhealed wounds. They're going to capitulate to the wound. They're going to cater to the wound, just like Sambo and the house slave. Are you a house lover? Just like the Sambo and the house slave would capitulate and people please and jump through hoops for massa because they were in survival mode. Do you see? Are you in survival mode? Oh, I'm getting gifts. I'm being showered with gifts. But your heart is bereft of meaning. True love isn't present, although you're getting presents. You're traveling, you're going everywhere, you're seeing everything, but your heart is longing for that which is real. Are you any different than Sambo? You're an intimate Sambo. What does your body know about truth that your words have been trained to deny? If the Sambo role is a mask, who benefits from the performance? When you please others compulsively, are you loving them or are you bribing them not to leave? Does projection turn lovers into masters and servants rather than equals? Who are you without the performance of sweetness, deference, and niceness? If every yes is a lie, what is the cost of your own false generosity? Right? If the Sambo relationship, is the Sambo relationship a love story or an economic contract of invisible servitude? If I bring the bread to the table, woman, you have to conform to my rules. An intimate Sambo. Do we worship love or do we worship the resources we fear losing? If intimacy is purchased through appeasement, does the buyer ever truly respect the seller? We got callers on the line. T-Money, Detroit, it's your time to shine. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Big brother Zoe, what up, though?
What up, though?
Man, hey, I can't call it that. You know, I like to begin with the pleasantries, right? Hey, after a fire burst of pleasure that doesn't exist without pain, but it gets greater later. When you mention Sambo, it kind of brought something to my forefront, and it made me question tradition. Often in relationship, we are kind of taught how things should be in a futuristic standpoint. Man, you need this. You need to have this job. You need to act this certain way to have this type of woman and maintain this family, and you would be a great man. White picket fence. But where was I taught how to show up as myself?
Ooh. Hey, T-Money, don't take your foot off the gas. Keep going. Come on, Motor City, let's go.
So I came out Sammy Davis Jr., but I was trying to be. I was tap dancing.
out here tap dancing. Come on, Chicken George, what you do? Fiddler.
On the roof, man.
Man.
But But it wasn't until the dark night of the soul became present in myself, whereas this is where it got me feeling indifferent, when I thought that I was able to express from my authentic self, that I was then being judged as if, oh, you're a narcissist, you're this, you're that. And in fact, it's like that little boy inside of me crying as, Mama, see me. That's still a relationship, right, with myself, with my parent, with... So you only carry this forward. That's why I state, after the fire, births of pleasure. You don't get pleasure first. You have to be alchemized. You have to transform. It needs to engulf itself and then turn you around. And then you now can understand pleasure, because you got to know lack to understand abundance.
Ooh. Come on, man. I see you. Man, hey, hold tight. Hold tight. Don't go nowhere, because you cooking, brother. I need a few more morsels of that meal. Hey, my brother T Money from Detroit, he's going to come forward with us. Now, listen, as we move forward, the voice of reason has to leave you with a question. Are you in love? Or are you negotiating survival through psycho-spiritual labor? Oh, my goodness. Does God desire obedience or authenticity in love? When you bow to another's will, are you submitting to the God in them or betraying the divine spark within yourself? Is fawning the shadow form of prayer? Words mouthed without presence of heart. If love is divine union, what demon are we worshiping when we prostrate to control? When I come forward, the voice of reason gonna keep this fire lit. Yeah.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Misty Jordan with BIN News. Now, the mayor of St. Petersburg is ending a battle over street art that includes Black Lives Matter. Mayor Ken Welch said the city relented in order to keep